It's a self-contained wedding episode, and if you think this is happening at an inconvenient time in the season, you're right, because that's how weddings always are. But I'm gonna look great, so let's go. Let's do it! You're right, because that's how weddings always are. But I'm gonna look great, so let's go. Let's do it!
Overall, the episode wasn't super interesting. I guess it's been about as good as the last one, which I don't believe I rated very high. I think I gave the last episode a 4 out of 10, but same deal. Lacking. Humor's not great. Story's not progressing very far. There's just not a lot of interesting Marvel stuff going on for me until, spoiler alert, the last, I don't know, is it 30 seconds of the episode or whatever that they introduce, how's it, Intelligentsia, the organization. But reading up on them, they could be interesting to add to the MCU. So I don't know if they'll go with the characters that I saw on the wiki. I believe a couple of them already exist in the universe, but they could twist it any way they wanted. They could add new ones. Since we only have a few episodes left, Daredevil's going to show up at some point, so we can see if he's going to be a thumbs up or thumbs down per the old series. Hopefully it pays off at some point. Maybe all these episodes, which really doesn't amount to much. What have we watched? 2 hours of content so far? Maybe it's all just been a little bit of backstory so we care about her, and maybe things will start to happen now, but I'm not expecting that to be the case, but fingers still crossed.
Yeah, my take on She-Hulk is that this is out of all the MCU shows I've seen to date, that this is the show that definitely should have been 6 episodes. I can't quite understand last week's episode. I put that more so in the filler category, and this week's episode is really a nothing burger as well, in my opinion. I mean, I know that obviously the last 30 seconds gave us some semblance of a plot direction, I guess, which is, that's fine. But I mean, now we're 5 episodes into a show that's 9 episodes. Nothing's really going on. Again, comedy for me in this episode didn't do it for me. I didn't laugh, didn't find it funny. The whole She-Hulk goes to the wedding situation wasn't particularly interesting to me. The fight with Titania I thought was off. I mean, this is somebody, again, and I have to go back and I guess rewatch that first scene where she breaks through a wall and when she bursts into the courtroom, or I don't know, I guess I just had this assumption that this person was so strong that if she happened to fall on her face in the middle of a fight that she wouldn't break all her teeth, but apparently she's not that strong. So I was like, didn't she break through a wall? But I have to go back and look at that. Maybe, I don't know what her power is. Maybe her teeth are her battle weakness. I don't know. But I was just like, I don't know. I think I'm to the point with She-Hulk where we kind of talked about this behind the scenes and we've had conversations like, well, maybe the MCU's in a different place, right? They're trying to reach a different audience. They're trying to broaden their appeal to other markets, other demographics. And you know what? That's fine. Maybe this show just isn't. I think I'm just getting to the point now, when I don't enjoy 2 episodes to the extent that I have not enjoyed these past 2 episodes, I have to think to myself, maybe this show just isn't for me. Maybe this, maybe it wasn't intended for me to like it. And maybe that explains why I'm not really liking it so much. In terms of Daredevil aspects to come, I do cry foul on, look, they've really made it overly apparent that they've put Daredevil in so much of the marketing content for the show. So they clearly have an understanding that there's a large segment of the people that are tuning into these episodes that are particularly concerned or particularly interested in how Daredevil is going to be portrayed in the MCU. So to do the whole helmet reveal last week thing, which, gave everybody the inclination that maybe we would be seeing him this week, and then to totally just, it's just, I don't know. It's just like, what are we doing here? Like, a large percentage of the fan base that is watching the show is interested, particularly in Daredevil. And you've put him in the trailer before the show came out. You put him in the mid-season trailer. You've teased the helmet. So it's like, Marvel, we get it. We know that Daredevil's coming. We know that Daredevil's in the show. Is the next episode going to be another Daredevil tease? Like, I don't know what. Like, we get it. We know Daredevil's in the show. That's why many of us are still on this train. So I just don't know, man. I think ultimately maybe the show just it just isn't for me. Again, for a show that's supposed to be a comedy-driven sitcom, the last 2 episodes for me have been painfully unfunny. Again, I thought the first 2-3 episodes did have some humorous moments, but again, this episode didn't crack a smile, didn't find any of it even like remotely in the realm. Like, I don't know. I'm watching the show and I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at my watch. I'm responding to text messages. It's just not engaging to me in a way that I don't know. I'm just not enjoying the show. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to fall into the category of hate watching. You and I talk about this a lot offline, this whole trend on the internet where people don't like a thing and they continue to watch a thing that they don't like, even though they hate it, so that they can talk about how much they hate it. Like, I don't want to fall into that category. I'm not quite to the point where I hate it, but I certainly am not enjoying it. So I guess with that, my rating for this at the present moment for this episode would be, I'm going to give it a two or a 3. That's where I'm at for this episode. I mean, it didn't give me really anything. I'm trying to think if there was one thing that I enjoyed from the episode from the beginning to the end. I hated the whole like show up to your friend's wedding as She-Hulk thing. I was like, why would you, like the whole way that Jennifer uses her She-Hulk abilities is such a far cry from the way that, most people with that level of power use their power. It's just bizarre. I'm like, why are you in She-Hulk form to go to your friend's wedding? I'm like, what is the situation? I don't know, like what, I don't know. So, that's where I'm at with it. I'm trying to think if there's anything from the beginning to the end I'm gonna go scene by scene. Didn't like the beginning, the opening scene of her having the conversation with the friend. Please don't be She-Hulk at my wedding and whatever. Titania showing up once again. Jamila Jamil is amazing, and I love her from The Good Place, and I can say nothing wrong about her. She's a treasure. But just none of it. I just didn't like any of it. And honestly, the scenes with the sidekick person, I'm sorry I don't know her name. Her friend, her female friend in the show.
Yeah, the assistant.
Yeah, she already had they already gave her the screen time last week with the guy on their stupid journey to get the Avengers swag and all of that. So like, I just don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe the show's just not for me. I can't think of a single scene of the show where I was like, oh, this is entertaining. This is not so bad. I just didn't enjoy any of it. But anyway, Jim, what are your thoughts? Enough of my rant.
Well, some of the things that you brought up. First off, when you go back to the humor, one of the things I liked most in the first episode, we talked about it before, were her theories about Steve Rogers. Right. And not only was it funny, it gave me kind of like a Big Bang vibe, Big Bang Theory, yeah. where they would actually have funny discussions about comic book issues. And the fact that she breaks the fourth wall, she could have the same exact discussions about the Hammer, about this, but about the things that, people that like the MCU, either argue or to debate or whatever about different characteristics of different people. So like, I thought we would get a little bit more of that. I don't think there's been anything else like that since we've been on, and whether she has the Hulk to talk about, which she doesn't, but if she was talking to her friend, if she was just talking directly to us through the fourth wall, that'd be cool. But like I said, and again, even if I'm not the target audience, I've watched kids shows with my girls when they're growing up, and you recognize the humor, even if it's not hysterical to me. I get something that's more for kids or for this or for that. You can at least detect it. It's just kind of like I don't know. They're so casual about trying to get a laugh. They're not getting them. So I don't know. I'm going to give it a 3. And the other thing you brought up were the other Marvel shows. I did see Miss Marvel, and I don't know if I talked about it on here or not before, but I really enjoyed that one. The jokes hit. It wasn't as jokey of a show, but when they landed, when they threw them out there, they were funny. The character was more relatable. Like you believed her journey with her powers. The things that she was going through, I felt. Whereas here, like you said, just the whole attitude of, should I be She-Hulk here or should I be Jen here? Like none of that's, like, it's just not making as much sense. I mean, maybe it does to other people, but I'm just not getting it. But again, I'm not blaming any of the actors or actresses for this. They're working with what they've been given with. I truly blame the writers, directors, producers for the way this is going. That it's their vision. It seems to be what they want to do, and I just don't think it's landing.
Yeah, I can only hope that this will pick up. I suspect that I'm I don't know what the Vegas line is on this, but I'm willing to bet that now that I see the way that they're approaching this whole Daredevil situation, I almost expect that the next episode, probably in the last 30 seconds, Jennifer will turn to the camera and say, I know you guys are all waiting for Daredevil. He's going to show up next episode. Wink, wink, wink. Like, it's like a gag now. It's like, maybe we'll see Daredevil's boots in the next episode. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. Anyway, got to get off of it. But yeah, that was She-Hulk. Oh, hey, didn't see you sitting there. Thanks for watching the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends.